Apparently OBS decided that it was going to disable my microphone whenever I didn't tell it to disable my microphone. So, whoops, my bad. That was, let's try that again. Hello everybody, it's a new world. Roman Reigns is yeah, who cares? Who fucking gives a shit? What's up? It's Monday. It's a brand new week, second week of the Prize Wars streaming series. We will talk a little bit more about that once we get the full crop of folks coming in. They'll be streaming in as time moves on. I know that Facebook is, or not Facebook, but YouTube is horrible whenever it comes to letting people know that somebody is live. I know this because even with the folks that I have like that little alert button next to with that turned on, it still doesn't send me shit. So yeah. That's just how YouTube is. It's another way in which YouTube is really kind of showing itself to be the inferior product. So, what song was just playing? That was Heathen's song by Heathen from 1991's Victims of Deception. Fantastic album by a really, I think, criminally underrated thrash band, which is odd that I say that they're criminally underrated considering that very album, Victims of Deception, sold 250,000 copies. If you can believe that. It sold 250,000 copies, but yet this is a band that is still metalheads know about this band, but whenever you go sort of outside the realm, you know, you go outside the realm and you can have a lot of folks that are like my age that will remember Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer. You know, they'll remember the big four, they'll remember big names of metal. But Heathen's not one that comes up, so despite the fact that they sold 250,000 copies of Victims of Deception, you have to also remember that it was done in an age where selling a lot of copies of a record was pretty commonplace. There was no internet, there was no streaming, you know, these other forms and fashions and ways that folks are taking in and listening to music is a little bit different back then. And also another thing that I would say adds to it is that there were a lot of bands back then, but not nearly the quantity of bands that we have today in 2018. The number of artists that exist in 2018 is baffling, and that's, you know, separate band entities. You know, of course, as we know, a lot of bands are fronted. You know, multiple bands are fronted by the same individuals, or that have experience with other projects, or other projects that are either on hold or whatever it may be. But I would say one thing that definitely influenced some sales back in the day was the fact that the pool of artists was a little bit smaller. So there is that. What's poppin'? Not too much, man. Like I said, it's a brand new week, and not too sure what is going to be gotten into this week. I know that I have a question for you guys a little bit later on tonight that could have a big time influence on something that was going on throughout the summer, mostly in July. That was the exclamation point CD sale. Of course, we're still doing the Prize Wars here with charity as the major focus. 30% of all donations going to the Ronnie James Dio cancer fund, and of course we're looking to get some of these prizes funded. I would love, by the end of this event, all 4 of those prizes are funded. That'd be amazing. I think that'd be absolutely incredible. Not only on the standpoint that it would mean that the event was successful, but also because we're able to give out 4 prizes to 4 people. The same person cannot win 2 prizes. We're making that absolutely 100% a rule. And third of all, the more that is given and the more that that number at the bottom goes up, that means the more that we're going to give to the Ronnie James Dio charity, which is really the ultimate goal, or at least one of the ultimate goals. There's a lot of goals with this. I want to get you guys some pretty cool stuff. You know, at least, you know, I want to get 4 of you guys some pretty cool stuff. And of course, we want to raise a little bit of money. Hey, Bubba Mike, thank you very much for the $1.99 super chat. Let me ask you real quick, buddy. Which of those 4 prizes is that going toward? Rift Notebook, I think I know what yours is going toward. Yours is going toward that Hell's Headbangers gift card, is it not? And remember, I'm going to try a little something different this time around. I know that there's going to be some folks that may not like this because they know that maybe one person, you know, there are a couple of targets that will probably be victorious in this matter. However, I want to give some prizes out to either the top donor or people that are in the top 3. I don't know what those prizes are as of yet, so bear with me, and of course keep on tuning in, and I'll get you more information as that becomes available, as I determine that. But yeah, I would like to do something like that. Can you marry my channel? Sure, if you'd like, that is fine. That is fine. We can certainly do that. Mango saying mine is always going to the cash prize. That tells me that Mango has made her voice a present, which she has. So we have 4 songs right now in the queue that are going to get immediate attention. Now, I want to address something else as people are coming in. As I apparently bungled my own password. How is that possible? We're going to address actually a couple things. First of all, official Chevelle Street Team, getting those guys a shout out over there on Instagram. You can follow them on Instagram. They just followed me, which is super duper cool. I will be following them back once I actually get onto Instagram again. So I did see that, follow those, so that's pretty freaking cool. That's pretty awesome. I'm very thankful for that. I'm always thankful for any sort of support. And so without further ado, we're going to get this stuff updated. I'm a little jittery at the moment, and it's the good jitters, you know. You ever had those good jitters? You know, the ones that you really like to have. The ones that feel like maybe something big's about to happen, or something is going to go really, really well, or, you know, something's going to kind of take things to a nice new level or something like that. I don't know. Like, it's just, I feel good today. And I wasn't feeling good whenever I first woke up. I was feeling kind of rough physically, which is, you know, that's just kind of how it goes. That's just kind of how it goes sometimes. I've had a great day though ever since then, so I'm very pleased for that. I should just go ahead and add the $4.99 to that grand total. Oh, excuse me. That was about a 3 out of 10 burp. We're going to talk about a lot of different things today. We're going to try to get as much in as we possibly can. The last thing I will ask is Geron. I believe that's your name. I can't see things right now. You'll have to Gyren. There we go. Is your $2.99? What is that going toward? Is that going toward the cash prize, or is that going toward something else? I will require that information as I update this. Before we get into some tunes. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's a solid 4. I have to be hard on myself, man. I have to keep myself grounded. Garen says number 4, and I'm just going to say that name 75 different ways, so apologies in advance. So we are going to add that to number 4, which is slowly gaining a lot of traction. It's gaining some ground here. It is not so much a distant third, but it is there. It is present. It's showing itself. For those of you who are... Yeah, I got you, Mango. I already got you. Thank you, though. Those of you who are wondering what those prizes are, if you're unsure about the shorthand that I had to use in order for it to be very... for it to pop, so you guys can see what exactly is going on. Just say GZ. That's cool, man, because whenever I go into other streams, I tell people just to say CKN. So GZ, that's all good. That's all good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. David's been enjoying Abstract Algebra. Dude, aren't they awesome? Aren't they just a great band? It's a shame that they have such a small amount of material in their catalog. But hello, David. Welcome. First prize is a 4 terabyte Western Digital external hard drive. That right now is in 4th place with $25 funded. LP 515. How you doing, buddy? The second prize is the $100 Hell's Headbangers gift card, which is an amount that could potentially go up by the end of the event. So stay tuned for that. That could actually jump up to maybe 125 or maybe even 150. I don't know. See, these are events. The cool thing about these events is that if they morph 95 to 100% of the time, they're going to morph into your favor as a viewer. You know, if I'm giving something away, there's a good chance I end up giving more away, so to speak. But that right now is in 1st place, thanks to the $5 donation that we just got in from the Rift Notebook. Number 3 is a 3-month subscription to the Metalhead box, which, if you are new to the channel and haven't seen any of those unboxing videos, check them out whenever you have the opportunity. It's a really awesome product for metal fans. I've talked and had a communication with 2 of the main people within the Metalhead box camp now for more than a year. They're fantastic people, and they have a really great product. They have a really, really great product that every metalhead should probably consider getting at some point in time in their life. It's almost like whenever Loot Crate first came out, and anybody who was a nerd wanted a Loot Crate, and that was a goal of theirs, you know, to get enough extra cash where they could afford a Loot Crate. And this is one for metal fans. You get some great gear. You get albums from bands that are maybe either just starting out, or you sometimes get something from an aging veteran. Really, it's a great way to get yourself into the underground and looking for bands, not just being on the surface of heavy metal. They do a great job with that. If you're looking to just stay on the surface of rock and metal, then you might as well just get a rock box. And I honestly think that that's just... I wasn't nearly as impressed with that product as I was with the Metalhead box, but I still think that the rock box is perfect for rock fans, especially classic rock fans, because I got a lot of cool stuff from bands like Pink Floyd and stuff like that, so the classics. And the number 4 is the cash prize. And the cash prize is affected by the cash prize total. The cash prize is 10% of the total amount that the event raises. So right now we've raised $284.86 in the event. So the cash prize is currently at $28.49. And you might say, hey, Cover Killer Nation, that's not all that much. Hey, it's a lot more than it was whenever we got started, first of all. And who would not like, at this very second, who would not like to walk out with $28.49 that you didn't have whenever you came in? That's all I will say about that. Let's get into some music. Bubba Mike, I believe that you had yours in first, so we have a little bit of Peter Gabriel on the horizon. I don't remember. That's not me saying that. That's the name of the song. So let's go ahead and get that through. We, of course, still have the all request stream for free queue, which we will be using whenever we do not have donated songs to play, or we'll play a couple tracks in between.
I'm Jimmy Dean, and I wish I could tell you how I feel about a morning like this.
I'm Jimmy Dean, and I'm dead. Here's the thing about metal and mainstream. I think you need to have a mainstream in metal, but it cannot completely be mainstream. And I think that's something that's good with all forms of music. So right now hip-hop is extremely mainstream, and rap is very mainstream. You can't have every single artist, though, be on that surface. You need to have some that are on the bottom, that are clawing their way up. That way, whenever they get to the top, or they start to make a splash, it makes an immediate impact, or it shows evolution or growth, or a brand new fresh voice to a genre. That's what that's what really gives longevity to genres. That's why whenever people say that rock is dead, it sounds so absurd. What is really going on with rock music is that it's just right now, I think it's just lingering in the shadows. It's kind of like heavy metal in the 1990s, where there were a lot of great bands and a lot of great things that were going on, but it didn't have that national exposure, so it wasn't talked about by as many people. It wasn't seen by as many people. But for those who are within the genre, for those who know the bands or see what's going on, they're witnessing something special that's not going to get enough attention at first, but will hopefully get attention eventually. You know what I mean? That's my hope. That's my hope. My hope is that rock right now is just in a little period of dormancy, or like a sleeping giant that's underneath, and that enough people are going to see these articles about rock being dead, get pissed off, and give it a fresh voice and give it a fresh take. And I'll tell you what rock really needs, because a lot of the rock or the alternative that they play right now is this soft shit like Imagine Dragons. Oh god. Rock needs a little bit of ass. It needs a little bit of that, you know, thrust from behind. You make rock and roll music dangerous again, and you make rock and roll music interesting again. But, am I aware of new wave of British heavy metal or traditional heavy metal? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool concept that is really bringing back a very old school philosophy. It shows that heavy metal isn't dead. And honestly, I think it's cool that they were able to section off that wave instead of it just being lumped in as just traditional heavy metal, like THM or something like that. THM, first of all, sounds like a drug. It sounds like, you know, oh, wait a minute, I have to take my THM. Give me a second here, folks. You know, this is going to be some good high-quality THM that just wasn't actually there, you know. What's my favorite song on the new Shiloh McGognar album? Dude, I don't know if I can pick just one from that disc. That disc was a mammoth. It was a mammoth. I would say the opener on that is just, oh my gosh. That album is really, it's really hard to decide only because of how powerful those riffs are. I'm still kind of like on the fringe as to whether or not I think it's better than their first album or not. By the way, I do actually need to take this. CBD, man. CBD is slowly but surely saving my fucking life, dude. Slowly but surely, CBD is saving my fucking life. We have Daylights from Enslaved up next. This one was requested by the Riff Notebook. Up next we have, after this track, we'll have Tom from Chevelle, which was requested by Mango. And then GZ wants Saber Tiger Misery 4, which, alright, man. Let's do it. My thoughts on the new Dimmu Borgir album haven't changed much ever since it came out. I think it's still just like a slightly above average album, like maybe a 17 out of 30. I wasn't really sold on it. I don't know if maybe Dimmu is just a band that right now just doesn't do it for me anymore. I remember I was putting away the Dimmu albums that I do have, and I looked specifically at Godless Savage Garden, and I said to myself, you know, Dimmu sounds great without some of that pop and fuzz, but the raw, like a raw Dimmu, man, I think that's what made them such a real stellar act whenever they were first getting started. And what happened was that as that production level increased, with like Enthroned, Darkness Triumphant, Puritanical Misanthropic, or Euphoric Misanthropia, and albums that, you know, those albums there, and I'm thinking of Death Called Armageddon. Whenever those albums hit and had that cleaner production, and we kind of heard that rage and that snarl and that black metal with a little bit more focus, it blew us away. But now it's kind of like, I don't know. Oh, it was being the cash prize. Okay. Am I going to continue the 5 Reasons series? I don't know what I'm going to do. I know I have a couple of videos that I do need to complete, but then after that, the future's kind of unknown. I'm waiting on a call for a job, which, if that comes in, that's going to be extremely disruptive towards all of this, just as a forewarning. So, I know all of you are probably hoping, hey, I hope that call doesn't come in. But the reality of it is that there are a couple things that my life does kind of need. But anyway, I'm going to give a couple of people a little bit more time to get in. But speaking of opportunities, there is an opportunity that has come up. There is an opportunity that has come up. And I'll explain it to you here momentarily. What do I think of Jungle Rot? Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. I'm not setting the world on fire. They don't need to. They don't need to. Just real solid. Real solid death metal. But hey, that's cool, Eugene. That's cool. Glad to see you here, man. Glad to see you. Don't get yourself in trouble, alright? I say that, but then I also say, hey, Eugene's boss. He's not doing anything wrong. He's not doing anything wrong. I hope this doesn't crash the... Oh, wait, I might be able to do this in Nightbot. Hold on. I might not even need Straw Poll. Straw Poll might honestly suck a nut. Can I do... That's not what I want. Default. Interesting. Well, it says I can do that. Let's see what happens whenever I do it. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I need to add parameters and all that stuff. I'm not tinkering with that at the moment. We're going to have a straw poll here very shortly. And it involves a situation that has come to my attention. So, the situation, as this is now going to be made available, I have a copy-paste so that way I can post the poll when necessary. Ha! Svetlana should go back to bed? Never! Sleep whenever you're dead. If you want to marry my channel, you have to be here for me and stuff. Now go to sleep, it's fine. Go to sleep, you bother me. While I was running cdsale last month, I ended up chatting with a pretty good friend of mine, the leader of Caricature. If you remember that we talked about Caricature on a duo of occasions over the past couple of years. Once was doing a review of one of their albums, and then the second was talking about some songs and stuff that they had done after that. But yeah, I'm pretty good friends with the gentleman. gentleman actually used to, he did a little bit of tour work with Aborted for a bit. And he has let me know, he informed me recently, that he had a pack of about 60 or so, maybe more, metal albums that he was looking to get rid of out of his collection. And he quoted me a price, it's a very, very fair price. It's an extremely fair price for that number of albums. And I've kind of been tossing it back and forth about whether or not I want to do this because, obviously with the CD sale, I was looking to add a little bit of space. I was looking to add a little bit of space to my living world here. So, but at the same time, I see that the CD sale has kind of died off. It's died down, which tells me that maybe the stuff that's available is not stuff that you guys are really looking for. Maybe there's not enough big names, or maybe it's just stuff that you already have. So I'm kind of debating back and forth about whether or not I would, whether or not I would want to maybe go ahead with this purchase. So I want to take it to a poll. Is this something where if you saw something that caught your eye in the CD sale, you would definitely want to buy? Or is this something where you want the CD sale to just die? Spam that a little bit in chat. And while we're at it, we'll get Tom queued up here. As you just heard, Daylight from Enslaved. Absolutely fantastic cut by a fantastic band. If you don't know who Enslaved are, why not? Anyway, it's a rare song from Chevelle. This is entitled Tom. This is from the Blue album in 1998. Wow, this is before they made it big. I don't even know this song, so this is gonna be a treat for me. There's a lot of stuff from Chevelle I do not know. Maybe give them away as prizes. The thing about this here is some of the CD sale stuff may end up becoming prize bait eventually. But for these new ones, if I were to make this purchase, they would be purely designed to be for sale. A couple of them I might keep for myself, simply because there are a few things that I did see in there. There's a couple things that I know exist in there that I would probably want to keep because it's really hard for me to find. I don't know if you guys know the band Circle of Dead Children, but they're a band that's based out of the Pittsburgh area, which you would think would mean that their stuff would be everywhere and really, really easy to find. They're a grindcore band, or just a grind, death metal band. And they were nothing special, but they were something from Pittsburgh that you could kind of hang your hat on a little bit in the metal scene. And I know this guy has. I know that this seller has a lot of Circle of Dead Children. That'd be really, really cool to have. So yeah, I'm there'd be a couple of things I would be really tempted just to keep and hold on to from this collection, but I wanted to make a plethora, most of it available to you guys. That would be the primary reason for making the purchase and doing all that and everything like that. So my hopes is that I just kind of need a little bit of a push. I want to know whether or not this sale is truly dead and I should just maybe fuck off with the idea, or if it's something where you guys are still interested, just maybe don't see anything there that you like. Maybe it's just something there that's not flying to you. LP, I'll get to you in just a second with that because you'll be surprised. Stallion Duck, my favorite Death album, is Symbolic. I love it. I heard about Agoraphobic Nosebleed, like they first came to my like radar through FYE because they had a copy of Altered States of America there. If you can believe that. They had a copy of Altered States of America there. I turned to the back and saw the 99 song titles and was like, what in the fuck is this? Like, what in the world am I looking at? And it immediately made me curious. It immediately made me curious. So I had to find out what was, you know, what it was all about. I immediately had to know what to expect, I guess. It was cool. Saber Tiger with Misery up next. Enjoy this one, folks. This one's going to be crazy. This one's going to be crazy. Maybe you should just stream all the time like CKN. Dude. Sure, man. I like streaming a lot. I like streaming a lot more than I like making videos. Like, this is way more fun than making videos. I'll be honest with you. Making videos, in 2016, I would say one of my biggest complaints that I had on a personal level, like that actually legitimately altered my mood. That like legitimately altered my mood and altered my health was making videos. It was just such a frustrating process for me. And if you remember back then, I was making videos daily. You know, sometimes it was 2 to 3 videos a day. And I mean, it was fun to do for a year. I'm not gonna lie. For a year, it was a blast to be that active. But it just, oh, it killed me, man. Like, after that, and after I started working somewhere else, you know, that was my first tax season in 2017. Like, thinking about going back to that, I was, ugh. I didn't want to even think about that. I didn't even want to think about that. Hey, Riff, man, if I know about it, I'll do my best to show up if I can. I can't, you know, I definitely cannot, I can't promise anything. You know, I've only been able to pop into like 1 or 2 static streams. I was on one of them, which was pretty cool. See what we can do, man. If you listen, man, you should just stream because you want to. Stream because you want to, and you'll love it, man. You know, give it a try. If you don't get addicted to it, then no worries, man. Yeah, Svetlana, the cats are doing great. Cats are doing great. Mama's back to like a normal weight. Mama is back down to her weight prior to the pregnancy, which is about 8 pounds. She was a smaller cat because she was primarily outside. She's had 2 litters at this point. This is her 2nd litter. Babies are doing great. There's 4 that survived. There was 1 that was stillborn, unfortunately, which is pretty sad, but she had the kitten and it wasn't moving, you know. I'm not sure if it was due to a complication or anything like that. It's pretty common in cats. It's pretty common in cats, unfortunately. I guess in her first litter, she had 2 stillborns, so the fact that she only had 1 this time around is terrific. From what we can tell out of the kittens, 3 girls and a boy. 3 girls, 1 boy. There's a good chance that we're going to keep the male because we have nothing but males. You know, before we brought in Mama, we had nothing but males here. So it's a good thing to kind of keep that consistent. And I also know that every single time there's been a new cat introduced that's been like super young, like kitten age, like whenever Pippin came, I figured that Mittens would want nothing to do with him, you know, because Mittens thinks he's king of the castle. Mittens treated him like gold, and then whenever Nemo came along, Nemo and Mittens had some problems at first, but Pippin loved Nemo. Like, those 2 became best buds. Yeah, Svetlana, she's going to get spayed directly after weaning time. So in about 2 months, that's where we're going to start worrying about that. All 3 of my boys are neutered. All 3 of the boys are neutered, so she's going to stay inside during the 2 months until the kittens can be weaned. So that'll be in the middle part of October, roughly. And then the 3 girls will be distributed to loving homes, which we're already arranging and fielding offers and stuff like that. And it's going to be just local here, people that we know. People that we know are going to love them and take care of them. They're as obsessed with cats and love cats the same way that we do. You know what I mean? 10 is not enough. I agree, dude. If I had the space, that's like the biggest problem right now, is that whenever these kittens get a little bit bigger, it's going to get crowded in here in a hurry. It's going to get crowded in here real fast because this is a pretty small apartment. We had, with 3 cats, and at one point in time, here's something crazy for you. If you want to know why I got frustrated a lot for the last 4 years, is that in this apartment for a while, it was myself, it was Miss CKN, it was my girlfriend. Her brother was living with us, didn't get a job for 4 years, was basically just wasted space and was wasting food and resources. The electric bill was through the roof, like to the point where it could almost barely be kept up with. And he was, of course, bringing in nothing. You understand why in some of those events I was so frantic and talked about donating and this and that and saying donate to keep the lights on? That was why. But there was that. His 3 kids would come over on the weekends, and then her other brother would come in. So you want to talk about being outnumbered. At one point in time, and I won't say the last name, but at one point, there was 1 CKN, and there were 6 members of my girlfriend's family in the house at the same time, at once, and 3 cats. I would much rather have 6 cats. I'd much rather have 6 cats. But really, 4 is about what I consider to be tolerable, because there's enough space for each cat, and there's enough rooms, really, where each cat could be in one room if they wanted to, and there'd still be another room or 2 to spare. So that's okay, It's not impossible to keep track of, We don't have to worry about them getting out or loose because we're on the 2nd floor, and we keep the doors pretty well locked up at all times. There's not a lot of problems with that. But getting into what it is actually right now we have 8 because we have 4 kittens and we have 4 adults. And whenever if the kittens would grow up and we were keeping all of them, to have 8 cats in this apartment would be insanity. It would be idiocy. It would be honestly the dumbest move. It'd be the dumbest move. So, I'm glad that we did what we did. I really am. I'm not gonna lie. I am in love with the fact that we took this on because Mama Christmas is just the sweetest cat. She just wants love. She just wants you to love her. And she's very sweet, so you can't really go wrong with that. But at the same time, enough's enough, We don't have the space. If we had more space, then it would be an absolute hell yes. Flesh Roxon with Back From Your Grave is going to be up next, requested by Maru with a $4 donation, who wants it to go to number 3. Maru is keeping Thrift Notebook honest. He is keeping that competitive spirit alive. She is, rather. I'm sorry. Pronouns. I'm terrible at pronouns. Especially these days where, oh shit. Don't do that. But pronouns are kind of like a, I guess, a serious topic. Back from your grave by Flesh Roxon. Mario, I think, going with something a little heavy this time. Just from the sound of it. Or is this going to be death and roll? Oh! Completely out of left field. Nice. I like it. I like it. Thank you very much, Mario. Is the suffix core controversial? See you later, Svetlana. I wouldn't say that core is controversial as a suffix. I say that, you know, I would definitely say that there are those that hate, that hate core being attached to things. I think it's kind of one thing I'll say about it is that it's an overused suffix. Metalcore and deathcore get a lot of use. In a similar sense, a lot of those bands like to interject other adjectives into their style to try to. I think they're trying to distance themselves from such a blanket term. So you get progressive metalcore, you get thrashcore, or you get avant-garde jazz deathcore or whatever, you know, whatever it may be. Well, I hate to say that I didn't see that coming, so I won't say that because it wasn't true. I totally saw that coming. Ripped Notebook with the 5, Capricorn and Agorotopia from Rivers of Nile. Fantastic song from a great album by this year, that was released this year, should I say. We know where that's going. Also, I have not been updating the actual spreadsheet, which I'll need to do. And then we'll have to take a look at our poll. That looks so weird, being off-center like that. I'm going to make a quick little adjustment, I think. I don't remember where's what. I'm going to make a quick little adjustment. I know that looks a little bit strange, but I like that being kind of like that. You know what I mean? Well, my adder. There's certain little things that do kind of bother me, like not so much in an OCD way, but in a I like everything being like kind of centered, or at least close to it. I noticed that it's kind of not totally centered, but oh well. It's close enough. It's close enough. Do I like campfires? Yeah, man. Bonfires rule, man. Bonfires are pretty fucking cool, man. Don't really get the opportunity to go to nearly enough bonfires, or nearly as many as I used to whenever I was a little bit younger. This is actually, we're just kind of getting into bonfire season around these parts. You would think that you would do a lot of that during the summertime here, and I'm sure that it does happen. I'm sure it does happen, but whenever you get a little bit deeper into fall, that is your traditional campfire season around here, because you have the, usually what you get is a haunted attraction. You know, you go to a haunted attraction, or, you know, you have a bonfire after you've attended a haunted attraction around here, which there are many. There's about 3 or 4 of them that are right here within the conglomeration of my town. And then you have those that take place down in Pittsburgh, which is about 60 miles away. And
you can get my back. Covered.
Don't suffer from bad coverage. Project Fi, a better phone plan.
So you kind of get that a lot. You know, you get that quite a bit. You have to give me just a moment here. I'm about to do a little bit of updating. But you do get a lot of that around here during the fall months. And what you also get is, you know, a lot of... whenever you get summer campfires, it's usually accompanied with the fireworks of the 4th of July. That is something that you will get a little bit here and there, which is pretty neat. It's pretty neat to see that. But yeah, there's really, whenever you get used to this place, it's not the worst place in the world, but it definitely could be better. It definitely could be a much better place to be real. If we're being 100% honest with, if I'm being 100% honest about where I live and 100% honest about what it's like, and you'll have to, like I said, you'll have to forgive me. I'm doing a little bit of updating here and there, and I'm hoping that everything that I've done, my mental math has been crisp. And I'm starting to get the feeling that it was not. Oh, actually, my mental math is perfect. Holy shit. I'll be damned. That feeling whenever your mental math is actually right. Don't forget to, if you just come in here, there's a straw poll. There's a straw poll that is going on right now about an opportunity for the CD sale. Exclamation point CD sale. If you're wondering what is on the list, what is in the sale, what is currently still available, there's quite a bit. There's quite a bit that's still available, about 137 titles I want to say, so about half of them still remain. Chances are you're going to find something that you like. And then of course, Charity lets you know what we have done so far this year. Oh, duck hunting season. Oh, good lord. Are ducks a really big problem over there? Like, are there a ton of ducks where the population needs to be contained at all, Mario? Because I know that over here, one of the excuses that are sometimes used for hunters or for, like, any sort of game hunting or fishing is that the population has gotten out of control and it needs to be contained. You know, that's something that you'll hear in America quite a bit. And in some cases, it is actually kind of true. Like over here, we have a deer population that is getting a little out of control in some spots. And by that, I mean that they have found themselves coming down from the mountain into the city of Uniontown quite a bit and getting themselves in trouble with motor vehicles and other hazards. So in many ways, like, if they're just going to naturally roam their way down the mountain into the town, you know, either we have to find a way to coexist with them, which that's what I've been doing. I don't hunt, I don't fish, you know, that's not something that, it's not a life I'm about. I just live with them, I watch out for them and all that stuff. I've struck a deer with my car once. You know, that has happened to me. I don't have a malice or a hatred for deer because of it, you know. But they're not a rare species. Okay. Okay. I can imagine you guys in North Georgia have a lot of deer rift notebook. I'm not surprised by that because I know that isn't North Georgia right where the tail end, like the southernmost part of the Appalachian Mountains are, or the Appalachian Mountains? Depending on your preferred accent. Hi, John. What's going on, man? Welcome. So far, only 3 votes in the straw poll. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Now I know some of you probably are not voting because you know that there'll be some issues with shipping being problematic and the like. I get it. I understand. But I know not all of you are from overseas, and hey, those of you who are overseas, I might be able to work with you. I know that I had an order from England. I had a guy from England who was getting quite a few. Shipping ended up being like $40 for his order, and we split it down the middle. We split the shipping cost down the middle. Mostly because of how much he was buying. His order was, God, like whenever all was said and done, he was up near $100. He was very close to $100. Hi, Volp, how you doing? Volvorion, how are you doing? Every time I see your name, I keep thinking of an old YouTuber who I'm not even sure if he's still doing gaming stuff or not. Volvagia used to do some co-op work with Dave the Usher and Scorch and a couple of those other guys. So I see that name, and immediately that's what I think of, because it's really, really close. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool experience for me, because that's like taking me back about 10 years. That's taking me back to like one of the very first people I watched whenever I started watching YouTube. I don't know what it was that made me want to watch Dave the Usher. I think he might have just been like one of the first people that I saw that were playing in a couple of the different games that I liked whenever I was young or something, you know? Whatever it was. I still watch a video from this from time to time. Do I think emo and pop punk get confused with one another often? Yeah, I do. I absolutely do. I've been guilty of that myself, LP. I've been extremely guilty of that. Because we have to... It's kind of hard to differentiate the style sometimes. And that's the thing. It's like not even based 100% around the music. It's based around the style subculture that goes along with it. Whereas with pop punk, that's kind of a different animal. And I know that I've been guilty of making those mistakes and generalizing. You know what I mean? So I just accept the fact that that's a shortcoming of mine. And if I were to give you guys any sort of advice, that would be to to stop immediately labeling somebody's shortcomings as a deathable, you know, the death of their personality, you know, the death of who they are, or have that be the primary focus of their person. You know, basically define them by their faults. Defining somebody by their faults alone is a terrible thing to do. It's a terrible thing to do. And I'll give you a great example here in just a moment. Undead Corporation, Bleed, Hate, Cursive, and Die from 2013. Bleed, Hate, Curse, and Die. Cursive and Die. That must be autocorrect. A little bit of autocorrect. Undead Corporation. Here in your face. Thank you very much for the $1.99. And as going toward number 4. Get her on making a splash once again. I'm going to go back to a situation that just happened late last month as a primary example. And this will get a little bit, this one's going to get a little bit real. Alright? This one's going to get a little bit real because I'm not going to hold back. For the first couple of times I was talking about this, I held back. You define somebody by one fault, or a fault that you noticed about them from 3 years ago. Excuse me. I think that opens up the door for anybody to look through your past personally and do the exact same thing and find the exact same faults. What these folks are expecting to have happen is that the high road's going to be taken. Folks are going to dig through their lives and find their faults. So, going back about 20 or so days ago, where basically I was made to feel like a shit person because of something that I posted, and I was labeled everything under the sun. Anything that you have seen, any word that you could see that represented a heterosexual white male, that is a pejorative or a slur, it was coming my way. You know, any sort of inference, any sort of, you know, inferred meaning. My meanings, my words, everything twisted by somebody who I could very easily say, alright, you want to outline my faults. It's kind of funny coming from a junkie who preferred to extort and scam money from people, not only for drugs, but for other things. It's an interesting thing coming from somebody who has absolutely zero contact with their children. But they're okay with playing mommy to somebody else's. Food for thought there. So yeah, it's the old golden rule, man. Don't say anything to somebody that you wouldn't want them to say either to you or call out your faults, or, you know, just don't do that. That's fucking bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. Jesse Lacey? Who's that? Remind me that name. Remind me that name. That tells me that I'm just out of the loop, because I've probably talked about Jesse Lacey, all depending on what this is all about. Oh, the singer of Brand. Oh, okay, yeah, I know what it's all about with that. I didn't have a very big attachment with Brand New, to be perfectly honest with you. So, I really, that would be a band where I would listen to them, and I would feel probably nothing. Not because the music isn't any good or anything like that, but I wouldn't have like an opinion or an attachment to feelings toward what he did or anything like that. So, you know. Oh, excuse me. Now, where I will kind of take a little bit of a stand is Tim Lembestis. And that's mostly, not only because, you know, he did his time, it was based off of what he was thinking about doing, and also his bandmates. You had something that was A-okay. You know, that would have been a situation where I think Tim should have, first of all, built a brand new band. And I don't really even think that they should use As I Lay Dying as the name of that group. Because at one point, you know, you have to remember they were known as, what was it, the Holy Trifecta, or the, you know, there was some sort of, there was some sort of name that was used for them, for Demon Hunter. There's two other bands. Tourniquet, maybe? No, I don't think it was Tourniquet. Well, Tourniquet might have been in there. It was As I Lay Dying, Demon Hunter, Norma Jean, and one other group. It wasn't Impending Doom, but Michael, you are right that they are like white metal, or, you know, Christian death metal, whatever you want to call it. You know, call it, you know, like that old Foster the People song goes, "Call it what you want, man." But I don't know if, I don't really know that you can put As I Lay Dying within that realm any longer with any sort of actual, you know, with any sort of actuality, you know, with any sort of credence. Warbringer is solid. Hey, I have 2 Warbringer albums for sale. Speaking of brand new, maybe look, Riff Notebook's basically saying, "Hey, you're saying you're not going to feel anything whenever you listen to this? Well, I will take that bet." Die Gausser by Brand New. Let's hit it up. Let's hit it up. I had a friend.
Military heroes' courage and bravery give
shut up.
meaning to what it is to be.
Give it the American flag. Fade to shot of buildings, of soldiers doing stuff. They're saluting the flag. Grand Canyon University. I thought that was going to be for the Army or something. Wow. Wow. A little bit surprised by that one. Okay. They got me. They got me. My username came from mixing the first Metallica song that I heard in life and a Volvo because I used to be a Volvo enthusiast and I think it sounds cool. So, Volvo Ryan. Okay. Now I understand how it's supposed to be said. That rules. That is actually, that's pretty clever. I like that a lot. Volvo Ryan. That is very clever. Toxic Holocaust War is hell for LP 515. Hell yeah, man, GZ. Good stuff. I know where that's going. And then LP counters with becoming the archetype, the war ender. We have a lot of war happening right now. LP, is yours also going to number 4, similar to GZ's? Or is it going somewhere else? Let a brother know. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, man. I actually really like how chill this is. This rules. Yes, number 4, please, he says. Number 4, it shall be done. One thing to keep in mind is that I plan on making the donation live to, well, not live as in in person, but live as in on stream, you know, at the end of this. But that may, with all the super chats, and this is not me criticizing super chats, by the way, so do not take this the wrong way, but that may have to wait. That may have to wait until the middle part of September, because the thing with super chats is that I don't receive those immediately. Here's a little inside, you know how they used to do inside the NFL or behind the music? Here's a little behind the scenes for you guys. I'm gonna basically pull the veil back a little bit for y'all. Whenever you do super chat in any chat, and during any stream for YouTube, that is not given to a streamer immediately. Similarly to Twitch bits, whenever you give Twitch bits to a Twitch streamer, that doesn't immediately go into their account. It goes into, a little cup, I guess. You could say it goes into a little cup, and then whenever the payout period is, 30 days or 60 days, depending on your status, that's whenever they get them. With Super Chat, same situation. I will not see the Super Chat cash until the middle part of September. So what I will tell you is that whenever we do that, we will do that live, but it may not be immediate. And if that's the case, just be understanding of that. So the whole thing that was wrong with the lead singer from Brand New is that he kissed a minor in 2003. That was the whole big deal? Whoa. Svetlana getting aggressive. Svetlana getting straight up aggressive for that love. That was the worst of it? Was this something where the charges just came out, like, during this most recent, like, everybody was getting caught for something they did in 2003? Because I'm sorry to say to anybody in here, listen, if you're a victim, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I really don't want you to take this the wrong way. And I think that people take it the wrong way because it's said in these big-time situations, and it kind of invalidates victims, you know, or it sounds like victims are being invalidated. Remember, whenever you're dealing with famous people, whenever you're dealing with folks that have money, power, you know, the things that people want, you know, you have to understand that that's almost like a different world than the one that we live in. But I feel like that there's a lot of accusations that come out during movements like this. I think that more than their share have credence. More than their share have credence, and I think there's a lot more that are out there that have not been exposed. And it probably will never be exposed because the person, you know, the victim wants to move on or has moved on. They don't want to relive that bad chapter of their life again. You know, if it was that traumatic. You know, they've kind of gotten, and I've seen a couple of, you know, they dramatize this on television and stuff like that, and, you know, they show the folks that want to come forward and they immediately want to try to grab at the pocketbook or grab at the balls, you know, want to see the person rot. And then you have those that just, you know, they picked up the pieces of their life, you know, and they moved on, and that's what they want. You know, they don't want to sort of go back down that and relive that, and they don't want the nightmares to come back. You know what I mean? But to get a little bit closer to the point.
It sure was lucky you were here, George.
Oh, Curious George. That's kind of funny. What can also be said? What can also be said is the fact that, man, whenever you get into things that are that far in the past, I think you have to be really careful. Have a good one, Iron Bases. I'm so tempted to call you by your former name, Fat Man. I think you have to be really, really careful whenever it comes to things that are that far in the past. Not a bad idea, Riff. That's not a bad idea at all. It's pretty good. What album is this song off of? This is off of An Overdose of Death. Oh, I didn't get War Crimes. I need to add that on board to our hey, guess what? Guess what, folks? We need to stop talking about super serious stuff here for a second. Who the hell is Mark? That's me. How you doing? How you doing? I'm Mark. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I actually don't know who Mike is in this case, so I'm in the dark here, which is okay. I'm fine with being in the dark sometimes. I'm not afraid of the dark. Or at least that's what I tell people to their faces, and then I, you know, piss my pants. Like a little pansy, baby. Well, guess what? Guess what? We have reached the $300 mark, folks. Thanks very much to everybody. Thank you very much to everybody who has donated so far. Getting $300 into the first week is pretty awesome. Definitely was not totally expected. Wasn't sure how this was going to go at all, to be perfectly honest with you. So, hey man, super duper rock and roll on that one. Here's to hopefully a lot more, man. Here's to hopefully a lot more. I'm telling you what. Because really, whenever you take a look at it, whenever you consider it, every $400, there's a good chance that a prize is going to be. There's a good chance that the prize has got to be close to being given out. Like, I understand everything's super duper close right now, but you know that there's at least one prize that is guaranteed to be given out. You know, that's at the end of the day which one has the most, you know, that has been given to it. Whenever you get to the next milestone, you know, if you get from $400 to $800, then there's a good chance that that one has definitely been funded, or is at least close to it, or you have a couple that are close to it. So you might as well just look at it that way. War Ender is up next. War Ender. By becoming the archetype. We have another donation coming through from Maru. I'll tell you who I have not seen very much in this event, and actually it's kind of concerning me a little bit, is Justin. And it mostly concerns me in the sense that, like, he's a really good guy, first of all, and I hope that nothing's happened to him. Like, that's the one thing about, he unfortunately is not able to talk in chat. So he might be here this whole entire time, and I just, you know, we no way of knowing it. Thank you, by the way, to Maru for that $8 donation. Got a song coming for her here very, very soon. We will have War Crimes for Rommel, and then we will have Brother Mine by the Phantom of Phobos. But yeah, we never see Justin anywhere, unfortunately, so it's hard to tell. Usually what'll happen is I'll get an email from him, or he'll pop $1 down just to say, hey, yo, I'm here. Which is super cool of him and super nice of him. So, my hope is that he's just doing well and that he's either been on some sort of family vacation or took a little bit of time for himself, relaxed, you know, did whatever. I do not want this to be something where eventually, like, the result of this is something bad happening. I don't want that at all. You won't know by brand new. Riff coming up and saying, oh yeah, Maru, well, I have a response for you. And that puts our two top spots at nearly a dead heat. Only 66 cents as the separator. That was because that one donation that we got last week was $6.66, which is, you know. Thoughts on this song? Hey man, Becoming the Archetype, this is a really good band. You know, you don't need to, there's not much that needs to be known. They're a really solid tech band. I feel like I'm familiarized with this. Oh, I am. Yeah, I am familiarized with the I Am. I forget if I reviewed this album or not. I feel like I reviewed something from Becoming the Archetype at some point on this channel, and if I didn't, then obviously I'm dumb. Gotta eat a shroom. Well, enjoy your trip. Have plenty of dreams of Riffy. Dude, she's totally gonna have dreams of you tonight, Riff Notebook. She's gonna be dressed up like a duchess. You're gonna be dressed up like some fancy English guy. Cool boy. You were gonna make her night. You're not even gonna know it. You know, here's the thing with that, man. Accept it and love it, my brother. Accept it and love it. Admiration should never be shut down unless it gets to the point of either extreme creepiness or gets to the point where it could become emotionally, physically, or psychologically harmful. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with admiring some folks. Hey, we have a straw poll. We have a straw poll, folks. Also going to be taking a break here shortly. Want to check in on Mama and the baby, so. CDs on the left aren't mine. Those are Miss CKN stuff. So you have a lot of stuff over here from The Clash. You have some David Bowie, Depeche Mode, REM. She's a huge fan of The Killers. Like, one of her favorite bands is The Killers. If not, it is her favorite band, you know. Wait a minute. Did I just forget if I linked the right thing or not? Whatever. Kittens and Mama are doing very, very well, from what I've seen so far. It's one of those things, though, where I do like to continue to check in on them, make sure that they're doing fine, but that's happening at much sparser intervals these days. Because they haven't opened their eyes yet, they still can't hear. That won't happen for a couple days here. I'm thinking probably by Thursday or Friday. Because it usually takes about a week in order for kittens to open their eyes and start to hear with their little ears. They're very cute, though. I haven't gotten a chance to take a lot of pictures, so I don't have anything to share with you guys at the moment, but whenever the missus comes home, I'm going to try to get a lot of the pictures that she's taken, because she has taken pictures, and a lot of them. And I'll try to pop some of those up on the CKN family of social media for you guys to see. Here's War Crime by Rommel. Volvorion. I say it like Volvorion. With the NOK $20, I do have to do conversion with that one, unfortunately, brother. So it's not going to show up as a 20. But thank you very much. I know that that's for you. For you guys, I'm sure that is no small. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. Translates roughly to $2.37. Sorry, man. I wish that I could put that in as 20, but I can't. I have to do the conversion. But hey, well, I'll just say Volve. Where do you want that $2.37 to go to, man? Hey, Drunk Flea, what's going on, buddy? I don't think this is your first rodeo with donating, is it? Actually, it is. Wow. Adding a new name. Mythic Bells upload is a super cute video of bottle feeding little Obio. Oh, nice. I know this isn't X Japan. This is Rommel. Can I spell? Wolverion. Oh. Of course, I need to change out the currency because I'm a retard. I want to get yours on the spreadsheet like ASAP because this is the first one for the month. And if I don't do that, I'll forget. That's bad. Alright, we'll worry about the rest of that in a little bit. So the 237 is going toward number 4, says Volve, so we will do that. The 20 Norwegian krone, which is equal to $2.37. Thank you very much. That's the one I want to focus my attention on immediately. Well, that ending was sure something, wasn't it, folks? Cool track. I always have fun with this kind of shit, man. Brother of Mine by the Phantom of Phobos is what's going to hit us up next. This is not the first time that we've gotten something from Phantom of Phobos on stream, thanks to our lovely and wonderful friend Maru. But if this is your first exposure to it, enjoy. This stuff is really good. Oh, pardon me. Jesus, I'm just gassy today, apparently. I'm just a gassy son bitch. Then we have some brand new. We have Volve, who didn't request anything. Volve, with that 20 krone, that $2.37, you are entitled to request a song that's under 5 minutes, if you wish. Can't hear a bloody tin roof. Ugh. That kind of sucks. Tin is definitely not. I don't think that would. I feel like that'd be extremely effective, but not very good for your sanity if you get like a big rainstorm during the night. Like, I feel that'd be really rough. But is that used primarily for the shield against snow and the cold? Yeah, I saw the under oath there. Yeah. Yeah, we have You Won't Know by Brand New. That's up next. Then we have Everyone Looks So Good from Down Here, and then Sortilege with Majesty. I need to, I'm trying to get this all updated as we stand. And, of course, you know, doing all this without automation. Doing it all without automation is sometimes a real challenge. I wouldn't call it a pain in the ass, because in many ways it's very fun. But, hey, what can you do? You gotta enjoy what you do. I enjoy what I do. I also need to update the cash prize total as well while we're here, while I'm at it. You know, just typical things. Gera is going, or GZ should I say, damn it. He is going ham. He is going ham. He is going off. He figures, hey, I'm heading out pretty soon. I'm going to basic, or I'm at basic right now. I finally got some time to myself. I finally got the ability to do some things. And it puts us right there. Morbid Saint, Living Misery. What score would I give the new Immortal? Ooh, Shape of Despair is Night's Dew. Nice. I have to keep that in my brain here. You leave on the 26th. So you're out of here on Sunday. Man. Well, dude, that'll be, that'll certainly be a sad day here in chat, man. I'll try to stream on Saturday, give you a proper send-off. I'll try my best to do that. If not, then we'll definitely give our salutes on Friday. I'm hoping to get to streaming just about every day this week. That's my hope for this week. Since last week we got a lot of that interrupted a little bit. Alec, you have yourself a good one. You have a great New Year at school. Have a great New Year at school. Not sure where you're from, but maybe you'll still be able to catch a couple streams afterward. Bloodstained Child. I was never big on them. And that's the thing. Their early stuff is considered to have a little bit more moxie to it, but I still didn't see it all that much either. That's just me, though. So You Won't Know by Brand New, and then we have a Shape of Despair song coming after this. You can imagine that. Shape of Despair song. Can't imagine that being all that short. I'm pretty familiar with Shape of Despair, but I didn't take a very good look. I want to make sure. You're sitting in the middle of the campus right now still catching the stream. Well, that's because Riff has that dedication. He's got that dedication. I'm trying to remember what I did whenever I was in school. Whenever I was in school, that was 2002 to 2007, because I went for 5 years, because I have 2 degrees. I actually went back for a 5th year, already having 1 degree complete. But did that to ensure that I would get a second one. LAN parties. Listen to a lot of tunes. Like either by myself in my room or with my roommate there, you know. Played a lot of Smash Brothers. Like probably an unhealthy amount of Smash Brothers with one of my roommates. We enjoyed ourselves. And of course I was in a fraternity. I was in a music fraternity so that was awesome. That was what dominated my last 2 years. Whenever I was in school. Oh yeah, and I learned a couple things while I was there too. Don't worry about that. I didn't really do much in the way of like frat house parties, even though I was in a fraternity. We didn't have like an official frat house or anything like that. So like we basically had an apartment where we ran most of our events, and they were very chill events. There was typically not a lot of conflict there at all. Not a lot of drama. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have some hurt feelings every now and again, whatever. But we were a pretty tight group of friends. So you didn't get a lot of that sort of anger and stuff like that. Hey, if I'm not in class, I'm mostly lounging in the library. Are you commuting, Riff, or are you, or do you have like a room there? Or are you boarding? Because I loved being in my room whenever I was at school. I had it set up pretty well where I was comfortable there. And then once I would hook up with a couple friends, that's when we came to town. You're on a bio research team? Yeah, you are in New York. That's good though. You're in New York, that's going to help us. Dude, thank every single dork you know whenever you're in high school and college, man. Chances are those dorks are going to be the folks that are going to bail out with stupid asses. And also, feel kind of sorry for some dorks as well, because they're trying to save this world with some pretty killer technologies, and dumbasses are saying, no, I want my gas, I don't want electric, I don't want corn ethanol, I want to eat the corn, I don't want to put it in my gas tank. Vaccines give kids autism. Pretty sure that somewhere along the lines, Jenny McCarthy developed autism, probably from being a model. Maybe that's what happens whenever you, or was that Cindy Crawford? I don't know who it was. I don't care who it was. Whoever it was, she's dumb. Unless I actually am autistic, and then damn immunizations. Vaccines are not safe. Well, you know what else isn't safe? Polio. Tends to kill you. You know, it actually sucks quite a bit. Tetanus. Pretty gnarly stuff, man. Listen, if polio doesn't kill you, you do get a handy chair that you can stay in for the rest of your life. That's cool. You know? You ever sat in a chair and just said to yourself, damn, man, I wish I could stay in this chair forever. I know. I'm just fucking around, man. I'm just fucking around. You ever just sat in a chair and just thought to yourself, shit, I could live here. Damn, polio. Oh, man. That's terrible. Somebody out there right now probably has polio and is thinking, you know, somehow they're going to see just that clip from this stream and think, wow, that guy's a real dick. Man, Riff Notebook, you're straight up just living the life of freaking, you're just running everywhere. I have like one of my friends was that way with the geology program whenever he was in school. And you know, the sad part about it is that he did all that running around. He has a geology degree. He's very, very good. He's brilliant. You know, he's done, you know, he did a lot of tours and stuff over in Oregon and a couple of other places. So he's gotten to travel with his job. Met his wife while at school and while on one of those travel excursions. And what is he doing right now? Because this area is retarded. He is essentially a farm inspector. He's a sanitation, what's the exact term? It's a sanitarium. He works at a sanitarium or something like that. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame, you say. Also, alright, yeah. Shape of Despair with Night's Dew. That's up next, and then after this song, I think I am going to take a quick little recess. And whenever we get back, though, we will get to Everyone Looks So Good from Down Here by Under Oath, and we'll get to Majesty, Morbid Saint, Bullets of Light from Thousand Leaves. And whatever else might come thereafter. We're gonna try and stay on here live for about another hour and a half. So about 7:15 is when I'm hoping to dispatch. Oh, shoot! I have the last of the CDs here that I could put away right here live. You have 3 in a row. GZ, don't worry about that. What I can do, GZ, is I can pop in a couple things from the all request stream for free queue if need be. Don't worry about that, man. You're being generous, and I appreciate that. That's what's... one thing I will say, GZ. This has been done in the past, if you heard us talking about Justin. If you hear us talking about Justin, what he does sometimes is that... And this is very good if you have PayPal. If you happen to have and use PayPal, this is extremely helpful right here. If you have a couple of songs in mind, I have allowed people to just drop a big amount, like I've had him drop $10 and he's requested like 3 songs under 5 minutes or 2 songs under 5 minutes, whatever it was. Like, really how Justin pays me is basically by minute, essentially. Like, I think it's just easier for him. You have a commitment at 7? Uh-oh. That feeling whenever we find out that Svetlana actually goes to the same school as Riff Notebook does and they're going on a date tonight. Nah, don't feel bad about that, dude. Don't feel bad about that at all, GC. Believe me, we've had some folks that have had long queues just for themselves, and it's really difficult to kind of try to get everything in, and some folks do get pissy about that, but I don't think that they understand that if you pay for something, you know, you expect to get what you paid for, firstly, and if something is given to you for free, I don't know, it's just one of those really weird feelings that I have about that. It has been completely paid songs thus far. I thought Svetlana was from, yeah, Europe, either that or Russia. From the great land of white. From the great land of white and snow. I actually have a really, really good track in mind for the break that I'm sure some of you will really, really enjoy. Night's Due by Shape of Despair. Yo, if you guys don't know Shapes of Despair, or Shape of Despair rather, get yourself on board, get yourself in the picture, get yourself listening to some of this stuff, guys. There's only 12 of you. It's been kind of a slower day today. Your Bandcamp order arrived with extra stickers. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. It's good stuff, Drumfleet. Yeah, it's good stuff. Happy to hear. Well, poo, I'm out of beverage. During the break, I'll get some Woods of Ypres on for you, or Woods of Ypres. Again, whatever you prefer. The video for this, by the way, which it's not really a video so much as I think it's some dude just put together some photo collage. It's really nice. Yep, he even says, pictures taken by me. Well, Adrian K., you just got the rub. You just got the rub here on CKN Streams Live. You have taken yourself some mighty fine photos, my friend. Apt for nature and wonderful for this song. The song that actually was requested is not Kiss My Ashes Goodbye. It is I was born, or excuse me, I was buried in Mount Pleasant Cemetery. This song is it is for me very calming, despite the fact that it has kind of a depressing tint to it. You hear some of those tones and it immediately kind of elicits some feelings of sorrow. Kind of elicits some feelings of sorrow, but at the same time there's a certain calmness. And if you ever noticed, sometimes you might notice that when you are in absolute agony and sorrow, whenever you're at sort of the depths or like the bottom of your rope, one of the scariest things that can happen is whenever an eerie calm overtakes you, whenever you're in that sorrow. Almost like throughout the stages of sorrow, you're going through the same stages of grief. And eventually you reach the depths of sorrow, which lead to acceptance. And then acceptance basically means that you no longer care what happens. But we're going to move away from that very unfriendly and uncomfy thought, and we are going to go to break, and we're also going to go to I Was Buried in Mount Pleasant Cemetery. I'm going to check on the kiddos. I'm going to get myself another beverage because I'm right now liquidless, which is bad. If you know anything about me, I require liquid at all times because I'm like a big old fish. So I will return momentarily, but while I am gone, enjoy I Was Buried in Mount Pleasant Cemetery by Woods of Ypres or Woods of Ypres. Hopefully not an ad. Nope. You're alright.
Stolen from the
have our first taker. We have our first taker. Who's coming in? Well, why? Why did I do that? Why? Listen, Riffy boy, bruh. Someone just added me on Instagram. Someone that took a bit of a shine to you, and bruh, not bad. If you ever want like a long distance Russian like BFF or girlfriend, there you go. Right there you go. Not bad. You could do a lot worse, trust me. I think we need to acknowledge something real quick before we get to Under Oath. Man, we got some good-looking people in the Cover Killer Nation in CKN Club. I don't know why so many good-looking people decide to follow an ugly-ass motherfucker like myself, but you know what? I appreciate it. I appreciate every second of it, and I appreciate every one of you. So the 13 of you that are watching this right now, to the 72,000 subscribers that are out there, many of which will never ever see or hear this because, for whatever reason, you know, we got some good-ass people in CKN Club. We got some good-ass people in CKN Club. We've had to deal with our fair share of crazy folk. We've had to deal with our fair share of weirdos. Trust me. You folks over at the CKN Legion know all about that. You folks at the Legion know all about that. And Andy comes out of the shadows to acknowledge the fact that I just called him a beautiful bastard. So Andy is a beautiful bastard. Listen, if y'all are looking for somebody who's... If one of the things that's required for you to date somebody that they are a part of the Star Wars universe canonically, Andy's your man. So, ladies, if you're a man, if one of your requirements to date somebody is that they have to be canonically part of the Star Wars universe, yo, we got one of those here. We got one of those. I got you, bro. Or sis. I got you. Here's Everyone Looks So Good from Here by Under Oath. I still make the Proud Girls' panties wet? Yeah, there's just too few of them though. You know? Memes. Well, that's alright. Emo. Stop it with the bag, dude. That bag's like one step away from dying. That bag has to survive one more trip, and then it can go into the garbage where it belongs. I swear, the bag that I've used for the CD sale, or not the CD sale, but like bringing the CDs back and forth from the studio 1.0 to here, it is mangled. Like, this thing is a fucking mess. Oh, the kittens are doing great. I just checked on them. All four of them are sleeping. Mama's actually not in the box with them right now. She's giving them the opportunity to rest, so they must not be hungry and calling for her. 3 girls, 1 boy. Oh, so great. It rules, man. Like I was telling people earlier, I didn't get the opportunity to take a lot of pictures. Mostly because Missy Kane was doing it all on her. So I'll have to get some of the stuff from her. That way I can post it onto the plethora of social media and things like that. But it's awesome. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing what their personalities are like when they get a little bit older. They haven't even opened their eyes yet. That doesn't happen until about a weekend. So still have a couple of days of them essentially being blind and deaf. You're jealous? Hey. I guess if there's one positive about living where I do, is that the back side of it is essentially a car line, which for the most part is not very active. It's pretty vacant a lot. And then there's woods that separate this side of town from the other side of town, because right across the way from this little wooded area and where the creek is, Redstone Creek, which floods all the time, right across the way there is like some important like local government offices, like that's where the folks get their checks and stuff like that, like for welfare and everything like that. I guess that's over there. And then like the GED testing center, it's like almost one big governmental building, just kind of off the beaten path a little. But it's a great haven. If you're a stray cat, it's a great place to be because it's far enough from the road where you're not going to get hit. It's not up in the mountains where you're going to get devoured by something larger. You're not going to get into a lot of fights. There's plenty of little mice and things, I guess, to feed on. So, as a result, we do get ferals that, you know, hunt around and roam around pretty frequently. Like a couple years back, we had a whole family that was around these parts. We had what appeared to be like a mother, a mother, a father, which is weird considering cats don't do like the whole like traveling together with, you know, like kitten mother and kitten father, you know, parents like that. But they just traveled in a pack together, and there was 4 or 5 little kittens that were with them. And whenever the season turned a little bit colder, they of course disappeared. They found someplace warm, and I have a good feeling that they got taken in by somebody. They got taken in by some wonderful soul, because they never came back, and there was no evidence whatsoever that they got killed. So someone took them in. That rules. So up next we have Sortilege with Majesty from Metamorphose, or Metamorphose. This is a French band, obviously, which my French accent should be a little bit better considering I took French for 8 fucking years. But guess what? Guess when that was? A long ass time ago. That's when. So, hey. I'm probably better off trying to attempt Spanish. Horribly. I just realized you were in contact with the guitar player of the band, the CD that you ordered. Dude, isn't it always the best? Isn't it always the best whenever you're talking to the bands themselves, whenever you're getting this stuff or whatever, like... That's why I always like talking to Douglas Skeen from Hemina. Either that or I was speaking with... like whenever I got the opportunity to speak with some members of Affenhammer, or you know, whatever the case might be, anytime I was able to talk with folks, it was neat. Getting into contact with one of the former members of Model Into the Well was a thrill early on in CKN's lifespan. We're talking like 2010, like right after Part the Second had dropped. He had seen the review for Part the Second and introduced himself and said, "Yo, I have my own project, you know, would you be interested in checking it out?" And I said, "You know what? Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. Why not?" So I got a copy of Balisette, which is an awesome album. Album's entitled "A Time for Rust." You know, and then getting to talk to the guys from Sanhedrin, who unfortunately have been no more for a number of years now. I doubt we're ever going to see a reunion from those guys, which really stinks. They were extremely talented, had a very, very bright future. But, you know, shit happens. It's just cool stuff, man. What's the real reason that Slayer's calling it quits, Frank? Tom is just, he wants to get out of that. He wants to get out. At his age, he wants, I think, to focus a little bit more time on his family. Which, can you really blame him? That cannot be an easy, you know, I'm not a touring musician. I'm not even a touring, you know, reviewer. You know, I'm not Anthony Fantano. I'm not doing speaking engagements and stuff like that. Half the time, my ass is planted right here. So I have way too much access to my family. Sometimes you want to just get away for a bit. But being away that much, it's got to be hell, especially if you know, especially for those who just do everything or try to do all they can for their families. You know what I mean? Yeah, Santa Claus work requires time. Man, he really has turned into, like, in terms of look, the heavy metal Santa Claus, and it's kind of cool. Like, isn't that really cool? Like, you just expect, you could just sort of see him, like, just for fun, after the tour wraps up and stuff, like around Christmas time, sitting on a chair with, like, some little Slayer, like, future Slayer fan. And I say future Slayer fan because I'll love him in retrospect. Saying, yo, what do you want for Christmas? Slayer albums? Alright, cool, fine, that's what I'm giving you. I've been sneezing all night. I hope I'm not getting sick. That would suck. But yeah, that's the real reason. One of the real reasons. I don't disagree. Album is really, really good. Let me go to my log here and see if I even. I'm pretty sure that came before I gave up on the log, because I've given up on the log. I'm also getting ready to give up on these freaking headphones. I give it a 23. I think it's a great album. Saving up some money so your band can finally release some stuff on Spotify. Dude, right now my log is just now the log is just an idea. It is no longer a reality. Morbid Saint with Living Misery coming up next. We're just going to go ahead and run through these because these are pretty short tracks anyhow. Or actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and help myself out a little bit. This is what helped me out before. Well, it looks like it's going to help me out again. I don't know, every so often it just seems like these headphones need to be unplugged, so I'm curious, again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I'm curious as to whether or not it's truly the headphones that are kind of busted, or if it is, it's actually my sound card just finally going to shit. Paradise, what's going on, man? You're not too late. We'll probably be going for about another hour. Probably about another hour. 7:15 is about where I'm going to tap out for the afternoon for today. Your headphones are busted bad. Yeah, my headphones kind of took a little tumble yesterday. I was trying to do some post-game or some like end-game stuff in La Milana, and man, did I get frustrated. I'm so badly out of practice with that game. And it was getting quite frustrating. First time I played the game, one of the end bosses I handled no problem. It was like a first or second try thing. Tried to beat that bitch for about 2.5 hours yesterday. Couldn't do it. I don't know what's wrong. I also know that my gamepad is also got some problems, but that is legit. Like, that's not a question of like the USB bus on that one. The gamepad has some serious delay issues. It's before I got this gamepad, it was not used by its owner, so it sat and collected dust and grime, and was kind of a bit of a save project. And I was able to save it where it worked, you know, pretty decently. It's not perfect though, not in the slightest. Like, as a great example, no, Necro, we've been doing mostly paid stuff today. Because there's been a nice supply. And remember, listen, it's like I said, part of this is for charity. So those of you who are frustrated that you did the all request stream for free thing and your stuff hasn't gotten played yet, I gotta focus on the stuff that's been paid for too, man. Like, there's still stuff that's on that list, on the all request stream for free queue that needs to be played because it's been paid for. You know, I'm looking down here, there's a number of tracks from Goku that still need to be played. But I'm waiting for him to be here. I'm waiting for him to be here for sure. Goku wants y'all to hear some freaking Nickelback, yo. I mean, Riff has a lot of tracks here. Not to mention, he also has a couple. We haven't even touched his from the All Request stream for free as well. Like I said, some folks might not be too happy about that, but there's a big time difference between something that's paid for and something that you're getting for free and is meant to sort of satisfy and satiate throughout the entirety of an event, as opposed to trying to get to something for a certain day. 1,000 Leaves with Bullet of Lights is up next, is on our horizons. And we have a couple of donations to get to, looks like. I need to make sure that this is not the same one. I would like to avoid a double here. Excuse me. It is not. It is actually a different one. So, Maru, first of all, says, play something from Swallow the Sun, within reason, of course. Not going to pay for entire discography. I have a feeling Maru really likes Swallow the Sun. Alright, man, we'll do. I say man a lot. Alright, we'll definitely get something on there. This is pretty sweet. Toho metal. Ah, Toho. Ask and you shall receive, boys. Justin Neely. How's it going, Justin? Good to see you. Are there more CDs that are available to buy? Justin, right now, the only thing that I have is what's left over from the sale. I haven't added anything new. I can send you that list if you like, in case there's anything that you maybe passed on beforehand, but if not, it's the same stuff for now. There's a chance that I will be dropping some cash to get something from a dude. That would include about 60 or so metal albums that I would then put most of those probably up for sale. That's why I have a poll available, which not probably getting a lot of love because it's a small crowd today for one, and for two, man, the folks did shipping New York is I'm really disappointed that I can't do more of that for folks. You know what I mean? I'm really disappointed I can't do more of that for folks. Both of those are going, by the way, to number 3. Which is the Metalhead Box 3-month subscription for a total of $9, which now puts it firmly in the lead by about $7.66, and puts us very close to the point where we'll be giving officially $100 to the Ronnie James Dio Pizza Fund. I think there for a second words were becoming a problem. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at that. I need to add a couple. Oh, jeez, I am very far behind. Caramba. Oh, yeah. Definitely need to get that work done. There's about I need to make sure that this one actually counts. Thanks to everyone who's donated this far, by the way. I don't know if I've said that enough. I do not know if I've said that enough. Something is very kind of off here. $5.97. Give me just a moment to get this underway. $5.97 is what I need. So that's 6, 2, 311. I don't think I got that. It's the problem with things not happening automatically. Oh God. I feel like I have still missed something. I have definitely missed something. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. There's that too. There's the 2 from our boy right there, then 2 more $1.99s. So $3.90, whatever it is, $3.98 further. That goes up to that. Well, I'll have to play with that. Well, I'm definitely going to have to play with that. I have made a mistake somewhere. And, I'll take care of that after the stream. That will be easy for me to handle. That'll be an easier thing for me to take care of, hopefully. I'm going to play something from Songs from the North for Swallow the Sun. I know it's kind of a, you know, obvious type thing. I'm just going to go big. With you came the whole of the world's tears. Very first cut off of Songs from the North, Disc 1. An absolutely magnificent triple album. Not a weak song on it. It's honestly amazing. It's honestly amazing that, first of all, it's hard for some bands to write one good album. Black Trip the Storm for the Thin Lizzy fans. Alright, cool, man. You know, it's hard enough for some bands to release one good album. But somehow Swallow the Sun was able to toss on not 1, not 2, but 3. And that's just, to me, incredible. incredible that they were able to do that. So, you know, lots of appreciation goes to Swallow the Sun for that. Did I see Take Over Brooklyn? Oh, hell yeah, I did. We could talk about Takeover for a minute. Those of you who don't like wrestling talk, I don't know what to tell you here in just a second. Because it's about to be on. Yeah, mistakes have been made. Wow. Okay, we actually have a little update here. That final total doesn't make sense. Guess it doesn't make sense. Watch this. Bop. Yeah, I have made a mistake somewhere, and I'm going to have to dig through the logs and see. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. The new Swallow the Sun album is going to... I see two ways that they could go with this. Alright, and one way is kind of scary. The other way could actually be super amazing. The scary side is that it ends up being one of the most brutally melancholic and depressive albums. You know, it almost acts as a form of like catharsis, or acts as a form of healing. But what scares me about that is that going to that place and channeling that energy, it's beautiful, but it's very dangerous. Because you can sometimes find yourself completely and totally swallowed by the very grief that you're trying to exit out of your system through the form of music. And Swallow the Sun already has the power to make just brutally sad and brutally devastating songs, very emotional. The other way I could see them going, which could actually be really hopeful, they could go a hopeful direction. They could go with an album that sounds very much like almost like a release into the ether, where now, instead of just being here on a physical plane, she is now one with the world. She is now one with all of us, and the glow that you feel knowing that a person that you love, not only has her gifts touched the world, not only did her love touch you, but now you can see her in every tree, you can see her in every stone. You can see her in Nemo thinking about jumping up onto the desk that he's not supposed to be. You know, there are so many ways that you can go with it. But those are the two big emotions that I'm looking for in that disc. You know, it can't be an album where it's just completely ignored. Nemo? No. Well, actually Nemo maybe. You just lay there and be good? I don't care. You just sit there and be good? I really don't care. But going back to Take Over Brooklyn, there was no bad match on that card. I know what you're looking at, Nemo. Don't even think about it, bud. There was no bad matchup on that card. Ricochet and Adam Cole was absolutely amazing. Tried their best to steal the show, wasn't able to do it. Velveteen Dream and EC3. I wasn't too sure about EC3 being a part of this. I knew Velveteen Dream was going to be solid. They tried to steal the show, couldn't do it. Nope, hold on. you know, tag match was really, really good. You know, I liked the finish of the women's title matchup between Baszler and Kairi Sane. I know somebody who is like tugging his dick to Kairi Sane, who is no doubt very, very happy with that result. But I love the finish to that because it was a performer that was clearly, you know, the narrative is that she's tough. She found her inner killer instinct, but then she also stopped long enough to use her brain in order to beat probably somebody that she shouldn't have. And then Ciampa and Gargano. I do not know how in the world, as the matchups get more and more brutal, these guys find ways to make the matchups that much better. And the things that they are doing to their bodies is absurd. This is Swallow the Sun, Demented Aggression. This is Swallow the Sun. They're a phenomenal, phenomenal doom metal band. You know, this has a death metal style to it and all that, but these guys are great. That's no problem, Demented. DA, we'll say. But yeah, it was a terrific night of action. I gotta say, I was incredibly impressed. I was very happy with what I saw, and I think that everybody involved should be extremely proud of what they were able to achieve with that show, because they were able to achieve some pretty awesome things, and it really made an impact. And what they've been doing, what NXT has been doing each and every show, it seems, like every pay-per-view event that they have that precedes a WWE event, is that they have ramped the bar up so very high and basically told the main product, hey, they told the main roster, beat that, you know, top that, look at this show that we just put on. And I don't know if the main roster has been able to do that yet. I don't know if the main roster has been able to do that. But at the same time, I also have to say that I liked SummerSlam a lot more than I thought I would. Black Trip is up next with The Storm. So, honestly, I liked SummerSlam a lot as well. There are a couple things that were kind of I really think that the finish of the World Championship match, the Universal title match, should I say, was not good. And it's not because Roman Reigns won. Here's the thing. For all of you guys who are wrestling fans, and I know some of you are probably hearing this and thinking, blah. You're thinking, blah. It's a mega theory. You know, just sit tight with me for a little bit if you're not a wrestling fan. Braun Strowman comes out, and this might be a spoiler for some of you guys, so if you didn't see the show or anything, plug your ears. You know, mute me. Braun Strowman comes out with a briefcase. He says he's going to cash in after the matchup between Lesnar and Reigns concludes. So whoever wins is going to have to deal with the Monster in the Bank in a second matchup. So during the matchup, Brock Lesnar goes out and focuses on Braun, who's still, you know, at ringside. You know, hits him in the back with the Monster, you know, the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then hurls the briefcase all the way to the, you know, at the top of the entrance ramp, where it actually dented some of the LEDs and the pylons for the entrance ramp. And you're telling me that Braun Strowman, who lifts up and topples over ambulances, pulls down scaffolding, lifts cars, you you know, basically does all of these superhuman things, we're supposed to believe that he is put down by one F5 on the floor, getting a little backache from getting hit with a briefcase, and he is physically unable to walk 80 feet or 100 feet, however long it is, to go pick up the briefcase and not come back down and have that matchup and be pissed as fucking hell. No, he's not an idiot, Elijah. That's perfect. It's a perfect storyline for him. It's an absolutely perfect storyline for him. You don't build up Braun Strowman to be a person that uses the briefcase, you know, you don't have him run in at a convenient time. You have him do it face-to-face. That's what you do. And you have him win that matchup. Because listen, if you give him the briefcase, you can't have him lose that now. You really can't. You can't afford to do that whenever you have such a potentially very viable marketing individual on your hands. And that's what Braun has turned into. Dude has gotten super over to the point where if you don't pull the trigger soon to pushing for his ascent legitimately and actually follow through, you cannot wait with Braun Strowman the way that they waited with Roman Reigns. You saw what happened. You saw what happened with Roman. You saw how the fans turned on him. It's funny to listen to how I talk about it so seriously. Hey, I'll give you a little facts about me, Maru. Whenever I was late in high school and my first couple years of college, I wrestled in backyard promotions and different things like that. So not only do I watch the craft and, you know, try to understand it, but I also, you know, performed. I know the toll it can take on your body to a certain extent. There are others that I know around this town that know it a whole hell of a lot more, considering they've been doing it for way more years than I did, and at a much higher level. So I'm by no means calling myself any sort of serious competitor. I, at one point, had a show right here on YouTube, along with two of my friends, where we discussed the events of wrestling, because we were fans, you know. All of us been fans since we were kids, you know. I was actually the one who got into it the most recent, because I got into it more so whenever I became a teenager. I think I was about 11 or 12 years old. So, it's kind of amazing what you can learn. Oh, I'm not worried about rank and all that stuff, man. That to me, honestly, that doesn't mean anything to me right now. What matters to me is that TakeOver 4 did an amazing job. It furthered along exactly what needed to be furthered along. Adam Cole right now looks like he could be called up tomorrow, which would be today. Well, 2 days, you know. He looks like he's so over and so good that he could be called up tonight, but why would you break up the Undisputed Era? Honestly, I would wait with that until they lose the tag team championships and then have them come up as a group. And whenever you do that, oh, God help the WWE if they do not push them as a major time force. You cannot do to them what you've done to the Revival. I know the Revival just had a tag team championship matchup, but man, it's been a long time going for them. Velveteen Dream looks like he's ready at 20-2 to be on the main roster and succeed. Alright. But honestly, I think you could keep Velveteen Dream down in NXT for 3 years and it doesn't affect his development in the slightest. That doesn't hurt him one bit. I think it actually does him a lot of good. Let him get a little bit more experience under his belt. Let that happen. Oh, wow. Wow, I just saw a track that absolutely needs played. It's awesome. Did you guys know that Crowbar, that's right, Crowbar, did a cover of No Quarter? Did you know they did that? Did you know that's awesome? You're gonna find out if you don't know this. Stalking fan, what's going on? How you doing? The one thing I know that is accurate right now is the total for each of the prizes. Oh, I need to update that as well. Cash price is now up to $33.82. Thoughts on the recent death of Jonathan Davis's wife? I wonder who. I guess she had a lot of problems with drugs. I know that she was in the adult industry, and I know that the adult industry is not an easy one to transition out of. I'm not sure if she was out of it or if she was still performing. But I guess a couple days before she died, John had to call in a disturbance, a domestic disturbance on her, and legitimately did not feel safe with her around his kids, their kids, you know. So it sounded like there was some things that were going on that really led up to this. You know, it's always tragic to lose somebody young. You know, she was only, I think, 39 years old. That's young, man. That's just a couple years older than I am. All right, Riff. You have yourself a good night, brother. Take care. It's really. Oof. You named your son after Triple H? So Paradise, you named him Hunter? Or did you name him Paul? But yeah, it sounded like John's wife had a lot of, Devin had a lot of issues. That stuff can snowball in a hurry, and it can cause some bad stuff to happen. You know, you hate to see that. You know, you wish that you could. We obviously wish that we could help everybody. You obviously wish that you could help everybody. But there are some folks that, first of all, there's some folks that don't want help. Second of all, there are folks that want help very, very badly, but are so gripped that it's a battle that they can't win. Or some folks get a little bit of help, slip up, you know, something happens, you know, the stress gets them back onto a bad path again, or just even once, and they're used to a certain level or a certain amount or something like that. You know, you see that a lot of times with heroin users. It's that, you know, they decide to relapse for one night only or whatever, and they end up taking an amount that leads them to be hospitalized or possibly kills them. You know? Whenever you get off of something like that, almost just as dangerous is trying it again, or, you know, falling back with bad people. You know, there's a family that I've known for so long. I remember being in church with them as a grade schooler. Member of that family had that exact same thing happen, and she did not seem. Whenever I found out that that was a road that she had kind of gone on. I was extremely surprised. I was extremely surprised. Would never have accepted it, or not expected it. Not whatever it was I said. But we're all human. We're all human. We're all susceptible to that. It's something human that can happen. That was a really cheap way to transition into Muse with something human. But that's exactly where we're going. After this horrible Geico commercial. Oh yeah, your heart, my heart definitely goes out to John as well. Really to the entirety of their family, both his side, her fans, Korn fans that maybe got to know her through being a fan of the band. Nice. Because it's these days, it's not always just the person that's in the band that's sometimes famous. Sometimes if people are very forthcoming with their families and stuff like that, you get to maybe get to know some of those folks, or you have you have band members whose wives or husbands or maybe brothers, sisters, cousins, whatever, might be the folks that are working that merch booth. They might be the person that's behind the merch counter that's giving you a t-shirt. You never know. One thing that John has done is that he has really let music kind of be that release, and I would not be surprised if you saw him do that again. I know that he has a solo album that's upcoming, but if there's one thing I kind of hope he does, I hope he does take a little bit of time for himself. He has been through a lot. If you look though at a lot of people that get into any sort of creative outlet, there's a good chance that you're going to find a lot of pain in there as well. Even the folks that you think have lived sterling lives or have always been in the spotlight as a small child. I'll give you a good example of that, Michael Jackson. A lot of folks want to talk about what Mike has potentially done or potentially did in the 90s. The two charges of child abuse. He was abused whenever he was a young child. He was frequently abused as a young child. He was downright scared of his father. That's something I actually knew ever since I read a biography about him back in like the 4th grade or so. And it's no excuse, obviously. It's not like that says, oh well, since he was abused, it's cool if he potentially abused kids. No, that's not what that means at all. What I mean is that he was part of the Jackson 5 as a kid, and then he became a solo artist. So many people, I guess, don't see anything past the fact that, oh, well, he's famous, so he's never had anything bad ever happen to him. Oh, hell yeah, he did. If you're an artist, you've been through pain of some variety, or there's something that has driven you to use music as more than just a tool. I'm not saying that if you're an artist, then you're guaranteed to have had something happen. Like, I'm sure that there's some guitar players or people in bands that could say, you know what, that was a pretty good life. There wasn't much that really happened to me. You're not going to see it. I don't think you're going to hear a lot of folks say that. But not every single one of them has maybe been like either, you know, a victim of abuse or experienced a savage heartbreak. You know, not everybody ran into something that perhaps altered the sails and took their ship to a different course. But, you know, there's still plenty out there that can be just as impactful to somebody. There's still plenty out there that can be just as impactful to somebody and affect them in a way that is truly massive. And as a result, make them very much a different person with different goals, different dreams. Leatherheart with Danger Zone coming up next. Just because, hey, do me a favor, folks. Do me a favor. If you're out there in chat, say hello. Say hi. Say how you doing. We're getting pretty close to the end of our excursion for the evening. I think we have about 1 or 2 tracks left in us. Mango, I know you're here. How you doing? Paradise Pythons is up in the house. He's in the building. Elijah Lovell is here. Ryan K is here. Man, David the Welder's still here. Morrow. Ryan, I had no idea you were even here, dude. I don't know how long you've been here, but Ryan, thanks for coming out. David, thanks for sticking around. Morrow, of course, thanks for being a broess. By broess, I of course mean an awesome chick. Kind of like broess. We have a drop for number 6. $6 from Justin Neal. He says he wants to hear Metallica's Frantic. I know it's not the best song. I wanted to see your reactions to it. Brother, I've heard it. I know it, man. But we'll have a little fun with that. If you add more CDs to the list, let me know. I'm ready for the re-release of Shenmue 1 and 2. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I heard about that. It looks pretty awesome. And those are games that were not really... like, they held up pretty well by themselves, but at the same time, the re-releases look really, really sweet. I'm still mad that Lava Lana 2 doesn't work on this laptop. Because of fucking Unity. That album guy's up in the house. GZ is still here. Luke Ardell says CKN rules. What up? Made a CKN Club meme and posted it on your personal Instagram. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to check that out. Am I a Y2J fan? I've been known to break a wall down or two in my day. I have, well, I guess what I'll say to you is that I have a couple Fozzy signatures, which is awesome. So I do have Jericho's autograph in my possession. And I think he's easily top 5 wrestler, one of the top 5 wrestlers of all time. So, a little bit of a fan. Diggy Boy's distraughted. There's no pig squeals in this song. So I think that after next year's Wrestle Kingdom, Tanahashi will probably retire. I don't think he'll retire. I think that he'll become a little bit more... well, okay, this is of course assuming he doesn't win the title. This is assuming he doesn't win the title. Because listen, yo, he could surprise us with one more run. He could surprise us with one more run. Okay? Like, that matchup with Ibushi, that should have been Ibushi all the way, but they found a way to make that narrative amazing. But if he doesn't win the matchup with whoever the champion is, whether it's Omega or somebody else, because you never know what might happen, I don't think he'll retire, but I think that he'll become a little bit more sporadic in his appearances. Because he doesn't need to be there all the time now. He's still massively popular, so you'll definitely want to have him there at your bigger events. He might take some time. I don't think they want him completely out of the picture. I don't think they'll want Tanahashi completely out of the picture, and I don't know if he wants to be totally out of the picture yet. He had a great G1. You know, he did very well in the G1. Obviously, won the A block and won the whole thing. But his matchups still look extremely crisp. He had that great match with Okada earlier this year. He's still putting together great work. He's still putting together amazing work. But so is Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels wanted to walk away. So, you know, we don't know what's going on with him, is what I'm getting at. So here's well, this sure is a song. This is Frantic from Metallica. Oh boy. So what I like to call this song is I like to call this song the clock song, because this is a song all about a clock with anxiety, in my opinion. No, it's not. This is oh boy. This also contains one of the weird. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say about this. That hasn't been said already. It's disgusting. It's honestly quite amusing. That's all I can say about it. Did you know that my lifestyle determines my death style?
If I could have my wasted days back, would I use them to get back on track? Stop to warm that karma's burning, or look ahead but keep on turning. Do I have the strength to know how I'll go? Can I find it inside to deal with what I shouldn't know? Could I have my wasted days back? Would I use them to get back?
There's a little fishy here. Well, like I said, I'll have to look at that afterward. Another $1.99 from GZ. Wants to hear Hook and Mouth. That'll be our closer for today. We'll close with Hook and Mouth. My lifestyle determines my death style.
Keep on searching. This search goes on. This search goes on. Keep searching. Keep on searching.
Yeah, whenever it comes to this, I actually do kind of trust my math skills there.
This search goes on. Tick, 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 tock. Tick, 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 tock. Tick, 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 tock.
Ah, never mind. I see the issue here. I see what the problem is. Never mind. I have discovered the root of my problem here. I made a slight clerical error right there. Bingo! Nice! Everything is square now. Awesome. Because there is absolutely no way that you were at the totally grit. Okay, sounds like trash can drums. Oh, that's Lars' Pots and Pans kid. It's his Pots and Pans kid. All specially furnished by IKEA. And sponsored by Martha Stewart. Now you're gonna see one of the patented screams. The only thing is this album probably contains some of Lars Smith's creative drumming. Yeah. Do you know the funny thing is? He's right. For $1 million, would you listen to Lulu on repeat for a week? Dude, yeah. I absolutely would. If somebody walked up to me with a briefcase that said you have to listen to Lulu on repeat for an entire week for $1 million, I would say yes. I would say let's do this. Absolutely. If somebody thinks that I have that much malice toward that album, and listen, if you're out there with a briefcase full of cash, I do. It exists. Please bring me your briefcase full of money. I'll take this challenge right now. You will torture me. I will require therapy after this. Part of this $1 million will go to reconstructive mental therapy. That'll be exhaustive. It will take months. If you hate me, if you truly hate me to the point where you're willing to give me money to inflict pain on me of listening to Lulu or Ludivinium Insanus or FU, you know, Frequency Unknown, make me listen to Justin Bieber, you know, make me listen to that Bitch I'm a Cow song that's all over Facebook right now, make me listen to Meghan Trainor, 21 Pilots, Imagine Dragons. Glad I remember 21 Pilots, that's going on the list. You know, you want to toss on Saint Anger onto that list, go to town, toss on Risk by Megadeth. I actually love that album, so haha, fuck you, joke's on you, motherfucker. Paradise like, I got $1.35. $10 million for All Blow and the Dance Floor albums on repeat for a year. GZ, I'd do it. I'd do it. But I would also attempt to bargain with the individual to say, how about 4 months for $5 million? I would maybe bargain. Because here's the thing. After so long, the madness will just consume me. A year might be excessive. That's way too much time to listen to any one artist. I mean, for $10 million, that'd be a pretty easy $10 million. Because I want to know what quantifies that also. Like here's the thing. Does this mean that I always have to have headphones on and listen to it, like even while I'm sleeping and stuff like that? Or is this something where anytime, like it's just something that's constantly playing in my room? You could actually open a donate pool to listen to shit music and raise money. Listen, don't give me that idea, Luke. Don't give me that idea. Because, oh boy. Oh boy. I may have always on, oh Jesus. Always on me, GZ? I don't know. That'd be a little much. Because, yo, at that point, it's just not about what you're doing. It's about people walking by and seeing you, and they can maybe hear the music, and they're thinking about if they know who that is, if they know what's going on with that. I don't know, man. That could be a reputation killer. Don't give me the idea, by the way, to have a bad song stream. Don't give me that idea. I almost thought about that as like incentives for whenever I did this shit. Whenever I do things like this. Like if we made it to $2,000, I'd listen to Morbid Angel or something like that, or I'd listen to all of Lulu. But that'd be really hard to do because then you guys would have to listen to it as well. Like that's the thing, like you guys would have to listen to that as well here in stream. So I don't know. I don't know if that's really worth it for y'all. Because whenever you do like a bad game stream or something like that, it's just the streamer who's really suffering because they're the one that's actually playing the game and enduring the frustration, whereas the people in the audience, are just watching and laughing, you know, and saying, "Oh God, this is what a shit show this is," blah blah blah, you know. And they're not saying shit show to the streamer; they're saying shit show to the game. But with bad music, like the only way to prove that it's actually being played is to actually have it play and have it be heard. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the way you have to legitimize that. Because aside from that, I could just take all the money and just be like, yes, I listened to it all, and somehow I'm still mentally competent. I know. It's funny. Hook and Mouth. Finishing off the stream with Hook and Mouth by Megadeth. We're not going to listen to this Chili's commercial. My in-laws just left. Shit, my in-laws. I don't even have in-laws. What the fuck are you talking about, huh? I don't got no damn in-laws. This commercial's lying to me. But like I said, like the sad thing is that the only way that I can prove that it's happening is if I did it here on stream, which means that you guys would hear it. Unless I found a way I'd have to find a way where I could play music for you guys while at the same time listening to that shit myself. And like have it be shown that it's being played and like music is being output. I may have a way, but then it's a question of output device. Because essentially, if you put that on a player, such as a Winamp or something like that, that shows the levels whenever music is being played, that's how you can tell for sure. And then, of course, beforehand, I can run through the tracks and, you know, play the first couple seconds. Oh, why am I thinking about this? Why am I thinking about this? This is legit. This could happen. There's a way this could be done. By the way, this is off of So Far, So Good, So What. Which is kind of an underrated album in their discography. It's an album that some people say sucks. They dumb. Don't listen to them. They're going to give you bad life advice. They're going to tell you to try crystal meth. Don't try crystal meth. Crystal meth is bad for you. Only try crystal meth if you want to be up for like 5 weeks in a row. I don't know if that's actually true or not. But just for my thought process, I don't think I would really... I don't think I'd want to be up for 5 weeks straight. I remember drinking the old... shit, what was that even called? What was that one energy drink? Was it NOS? No, it wasn't NOS. It was something... Jolt. Jolt? Maybe? I don't remember. It was some energy drink I drank whenever I was in college. And I remember that kept me up for like 48 hours, and by the end of that, I was like, no, I need sleep. If I don't sleep, I'm gonna snap. You know? You remember 6 Feet Under's cover of TNT? Oh my god. Listen, anytime I think of any cover that 6 Feet Under has done, I just immediately remember that Debauchery did a cover of 8 Days a Week by the Beatles that was actually amazing. And I just completely forget that 6 Feet Under like even exists for a minute. Would I consider listening to the best song off of each Death album like I did for Maiden? Probably not. Probably not. Saint Anger vs. Alud, Davidium and Sandus, which album do I like more? Saint Anger's the smoother listen, 15 or so years later. Alud has actually some legitimately decent tracks on it, but it also has some big-time crap. Like, it'd be different if Alud, Davidium and Sandus just had poor death metal on it. You know, it was just not very well executed. You know, we talk about 6 Feet Under with some prejudice because the stuff is bad, but we don't talk about it with such a legendary veneer because it's not worth the energy, but A Live the Video Insanus is, because it wasn't just bad death metal. It was just bad music. This is a really bad idea. Top 20 songs video? That changes so frequently, though. Like, there would be no point. I'll just give you a quick little FYI. The best song of all time is In the Shadow of Our Pale Companion by Agallah. Like, that's the one that's been #1 for quite a bit. Quite a bit of time. But whenever it comes to 2 to 19, I can basically just say, hey, these vary all the time. This is how I'm feeling about this second. Like, that'd be something I'd have to remake every week, which I'm sure y'all wouldn't mind. I'm sure y'all wouldn't mind that. What's this garbage? Excuse me? This is the remaster, isn't it? Oh, it's the greatest It's Back from the Start version. That's a hell no from me. Thanks. That little introduction not required at all. Well, ladies and gents, we are out of here. We are out of here for the evening. Thanks to everybody for stopping by. Just as a quick little recap, 344.14. We're doing fairly well. We've crossed the $300 threshold a week into the event. We of course have at least another week or so to go. Right now, the Metalhead Box 3-month subscription is in the lead with a 127.66 tally. The $100 Hell's Headbangers gift card is in second place with 114 bucks funded to it. Cash prize right now, $79.48 is in third place, and in fourth place we have the 4 terabyte Western Digital external hard drive. Nobody wants a hard drive. Has only 25 bucks currently. The cash prize total right now, if the cash prize were to win, which by the way, as of right now, it's not winning, so this cash prize would not be given out. Because it's not winning right now. But if it were to win, if it were winning, should I say, the current total on that is $34.41. But I'm done for right now. Big Joe TV has the big... Excuse me? What? Oh, that's a shout out. Big Joe TV has the big gay, big game, big whatever. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about that. I know where that's going. I will add it. I'll add it right now so everybody can see that it's being added. Actually, I'm all about, I like stuff that you see, you know what I mean? So technically this stream could go on forever if like 17 people just donated all at once and made it where I had to adjust everything for 5,000 years. That is not an invitation for that to happen, by the way. It is not an invitation, it's an encouragement. I'm kidding. But yeah, oh boy. A certain somebody may have just influenced a future stream. Oh boy. If that's the case, then we're going to have some fun. See you later, folks.